Willie D Live.
Y'all didn't have an NDA with Nordstrom.
Doesn't matter when you're dealing with something like Microsoft. They could care. That's nothing.
They'll crush you and then
Right.
let you. We'll file you. See, we're tied up for 10 years, and meanwhile, we're gonna keep on.
Right. They
doing
got a
business.
staff of hundreds of attorneys at any
Yeah.
one given time. They don't respect anything like that. That's just to deal with clamp down a little guy. You come talk
Yeah.
to them, they're gonna make sure you don't talk. But as far as this, that's just like a joke, basically.
So man, you could have been sitting on a good
Yeah.
200 billion right
Or
now.
something.
Or something.
Who
in there.
knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
More than that, but it didn't. But you go in there and you get in that ring and you're slugging it out. And and then you can get smacked in the face.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't get in the ring if you're not,
So how does a little guy protect himself from something like that?
you don't.
You just got to roll the dice.
You just got to roll the dice. They'll do whatever they want, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Then you try to take them to court. You end up in the city that they own. They own the courts. They own the judges.
Yeah, and they have enough attorneys to wear you out for years and years and years.
Yeah.
They'll rack up millions of dollars in court costs and attorneys' fees, and it's fine for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got an online staff of attorneys just waiting to do that. Yeah, and more on retainer.
Yeah.
Where they came from.
Right.
So the only way you could really protect yourself is to align yourself with other players and get a deal where you're aligned with somebody. Because out there as a lone wolf, there are a few that make it, but you're really setting yourself up to get steamrolled as a lone wolf.
How difficult was it for you to not get steamrolled by these major labels out here who like to hold on to that money?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That was something.
Yeah.
We set up independent distribution in the beginning because the majors were talking to us and they just wanted to do the deal where they shaft you and there's nothing you can do about it. And we said, we're not going for that. Okay, we didn't wake up yesterday, so we're not doing that. So we realized the only way we could make it work was to go distributor by distributor by distributor, and that's what we did. We locked down distributor by distributor, and what happened was we had a major hiccup at the end of Making Trouble where they had outstanding balances of like several $1 million, and they acted like they didn't want to pay and so that's what they do. That's the stunt they pull. They're waiting for your next record. And then when you have your next record and it sounds good,
then they release that money and then they hold a new record.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold you hostage, right? And at the end, they're always going to sit there and try to walk away with the lion's share.
Yeah.
And so we had a big riff with the distributors and we had to kind of coerce them a little bit into getting them off that money because we couldn't we needed money to run the company on. And we're like, if you hold our money and we let you do this, then how are we supposed to keep recording and running the company and doing the marketing? And I mean, how do you run a company that way? But they're so used to doing that.
Yeah.
And so, we didn't let them get away with that. Put a little pressure on them. And then what happened was that Gribbet started taking off. And that really started selling a whole lot more than Making Trouble did. And we started signing bigger and bigger distributors. We started signing like Schwartz Brothers on the East Coast and stuff like that. And then at the end of towards when we signed the deal with Geffen, they really were ramping that up, the holding your money thing, and it really came to a head where that got pretty brutal for a while, but we ended up getting our money.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
So you go in to these companies to make the deals. Are you going in as the complexion for the connection, or y'all going in there together?
For the independent distribution, mostly I had some guys that were working for me that I sent in there to set up the independence. And so it was another guy. His name was Aaron, that came from. We all went to college together, and
Where'd you go to college?
Evergreen State. It's in Washington State, in Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Aaron and a few other guys, I was involved, and I would go have meetings with them and everything, but mostly Aaron was involved bird dogging it and everything, as far as setting up the independent distributors and all that. I set up all the first Frankie one stops and all the ones down here, Southwest and everything. I had set up before Aaron came on board, and I showed him how to do it and got him started. And then once he was started, kind of the same way as the studio, I'd train people or whatever and then move on to the next role.
Right.
And I had 20 different roles.
I was about to say, well, it seemed like everybody had 20 different roles.
They
back
did.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had to. That was part of that making it work mentality. You didn't say, I don't know how to do this. We didn't know what that was. And, as far as being on the road and as far as lining up, subsequently lining up artists, James didn't I don't know how to do that. No word like that ever came out of his mouth, ever. If he didn't know how to do something, he'd figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We were all like that.
Yeah. That's the Rap-A-Lot way.
Yeah.
Make it happen, man.
Make it work.
Yeah, make it work. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Are there any regrets?
No. No regrets.